Hey guys, what's up? Once again, it's Kanyike Elvis, a gospel pop and R&B artist from Africa. And yeah, there's something I want to talk about. Recently, we have been facing a hard time as black people in the world ever since the murder of George Floyd. And what I want to talk about is the most recent case that took place over the weekend on Friday last week when Brooks was murdered by a cop in Atlanta in America. And I thank God that today as I'm recording this, I've just got news that they've charged the officer, and I think we are moving towards justice. So that's great. I hope God comforts the family and the black community at large in the world. And there's something I wanted to share about this. Last week I was watching the news, and then this video popped up and they were showing how Brooks was murdered, and it was the first time I was seeing this thing. So we watched everything. I saw how he was fighting with the cops, beating them up, and like he defeated them, two of them, he handled them. And as I'm watching this, I start to see like reactions from people on the news, and within that, there were like, as I'm watching, I see there are some saying, is the officer guilty? But at the same time, I came to notice that some were suggesting that Brooks is guilty of fighting these guys. And it was this time that something came to me in my head, and I said, no, I need to say something to my people. And what I wanted to talk about is our attitude towards the cops, you know, because I saw people having mixed reactions. Many were suggesting if the officer hadn't done this, and then I realized from a certain angle, some others were saying, as you're saying, as the officer, if the officer hadn't done this, some were saying if Brooks hadn't done this. Now I want us to leave the whole Brooks situation aside because it's a little bit more complicated. It's like he wasn't sober, and it's a lot of that. I'm not going to talk about that so much, but specifically I wanted to talk about our attitude towards cops. And I just wanted to speak to black people, and all I'm asking is, guys, let's control, provided you're not under influence of drugs or you are not in a life-threatening position where you have to fight for your life. I realize that sometimes even our attitude can escalate the situation to a death situation, because this is a moment when you're alone with the cop. And I realize these guys, they reach out to us with that attitude, with killing us as an option. It is like an option available. And I realize that if we were to submit ourselves peacefully without fighting back in the first place, the chances of killing you are very low. They may not kill you. If you don't run away from the cop, they don't kill you. And the reason why I say this, because honestly speaking, it was devastating to watch. I watched this video over and over again, and I realized that the officer wasn't wrong, but I saw what took place before, and I realized that maybe, just maybe, if things hadn't got out of hand and everything that happened, maybe, just maybe, our brother would still be alive. And so I wanted to talk to black people and simply ask them to, guys, whenever you are in front of cops, whenever you're going against cops, please just play it cool. Please just play it cool. Like, let's just drop our pride, because we are making all these moves, for justice and all these laws, and it's like, yes, we get all these laws, but when you are in that particular moment, when you're alone with with the cops, because these are not burglars, these are not murderers, these are people who can handle you, and people look on, not because they can do nothing about it, but because they're like, these are cops and stuff. And I realized that at that moment, think about it, no one, ask yourself, has anyone ever been protected by the law when they're going to be murdered? Like, do you have any situation where you say that, for example, a cop was holding out a gun to this black person and they were going to shoot them, and the law against gun violence came and held the cop and said, no, you're not going to shoot him because this is wrong. Or any case where, you know, a civil right, or these laws, whatever they are, came out and stood like a bulletproof before the person and said, no, yeah, I'm protecting this person from the bullets. Well, think about it. That didn't happen. And all I'm saying is, because these, all I'm saying is, rather than fight for justice for you after you have been killed, I feel like I'd rather have you mistreated, I'd rather have you treated less than you're supposed to, but alive. You understand me? Because I feel like everything we are doing, personally, I thought about it and I said, this situation, you know, it's anger. And the same way your anger escalates and, you know, you start fighting cops, the same way their anger escalates and they end up shooting you and they kill you. In fact, they don't shoot you to harm you or to like make you weaker, they shoot you to kill you permanently, seal you off. And as we all know, anger is not anything like that is charged towards a race. No one has anger and says, my anger is anger against white people, I don't get angry against black people, or my anger is against this specific race. No, it's all round, it's an all round thing to everyone. And I wanted to say, I want to talk about this because I realize, and I say right now we are in a situation where we are fighting for rights of black people, and it looks awkward when they see you beating up cops, and you know, as a result we end up losing you. And then it's like no one wants to talk about the part of you beating up the cops or refusing to be arrested, but they're talking about the part of the cops killing you. And I realized that the day someone brings up a clip of someone from another race being attacked, or even a white person receiving the same kind of treatment for resisting arrest, is the day people will claim we have always wanted to be. We just make it a point. We act like we should do things and not held accountable for them. We act like they will mock what you guys, even your ancestors, even what you guys are doing today, what you're doing, fighting for the rights of black people in America, civil rights. They'll make it, they'll make a joke of it. They'll make it seem like it's useless because we are part of this. We are part of the problem. And I said and I say this because we need to change, honestly speaking. Like, it's for real. And because I'm saying this because I know that is, even as I speak right now, there could be a black person out there who's planning to fight the cops once they get arrested. And this is not just a female or male message, it's an every black person message. You know what I mean? And I wanted to tell you that if you fall under the bracket that fights cops, under the bracket that beats up cops, then your day has not reached. But one of those days you land in that situation and you fight a cop and you end up losing your life. And I wanted to speak to black parents in America, because the fact is you have to teach our brothers and sisters out there how to behave before cops if we are going to save a life. You know, if you're going to save a life. I remember when George Floyd was killed, one of the videos released was one of a black guy who was telling other black guys how to behave in America. And I remember he talked about the scene where you put your hands on the dashboard before the cop gets near you, or else they shoot you. And I like that because he was giving advice on what, you know, what you should do in order not to put yourself in a position of danger. And so I thought about it and said, you know, we as black people need to also change our attitude towards cops. Like, I would rather have you treated less than you're supposed to be treated, or arrested and then you come out tomorrow, than have footages of your last hours fighting for your life than, because I want you to know one thing about a gun does not respect race. It doesn't. When someone points a gun at you, the bullets don't suggest and they say, that person is in right, so we are not going to attack him. No, we are not going to shoot him. No. When they point a gun at you, those bullets go to any direction, any path they point them. They don't choose who's right or who's wrong. And I just wanted to tell this to black people, please, 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 when someone, specifically cops, please humble yourself. Whenever someone who has a gun is holding you, if they're handcuffing you, please just play it cool. Despite the strength we have, despite the possibilities that you might defeat them, please don't run away from cops. Please just play along peacefully, without a fight, without anything, honestly speaking, and you save your life. Because this is about that moment when you're there, when laws are there but they cannot protect you. That moment when you do one mistake, one of the results is you are dead, you are shooting. And I ask you, please hear me out, brothers and sisters. We really need to change that. We really need to take away that excuse where someone says, well, they're saying we are being unfair to them, but they beat up our cops. Please, let's take that away. If you can, just take it easy, rather than fight for your rights after you have died. We protest and all this stuff, because all this stuff, no matter how much we do it, we may get justice for you, we may get the cops arrested for you, the ones who murdered you, but all that does not bring you back alive. And I'll be honest with you, for me, I feel like rather than have all that, I'd rather have you still alive. Rather than have all these situations, all these protests, or arrest the officers, I'd rather have you alive. I mean, as you are giving the system of justice a chance, to reform and all that, still remember, racism is not something you can't see a cop and you say that is racist, that one is a potential killer. No, you never know until that particular moment when it is you and your killer, and that is the moment I'm talking about. And if you can hear me out, I know I'm not the first person to speak this, and it's not about how many times you've had this, but it's about how many times you have had this and you have put it into practice. It's about you not being a potential cause of your death, not being one of the factors that led to your death, but moving away from that position. And hopefully, God can protect us. You play it cool. They'd rather arrest you and we pick you up tomorrow than pick up a dead body and you're gone forever, man. And I hope you hear me out. And another thing, this one is specifically to the police. Everyone is concerned. The police is supposed to be protection for people. It's supposed to be like that phone call one makes and they feel safe, they feel secure, from whatever situation they're going through. And unfortunately, currently in America, it is getting to moments where now people can no longer rely on the police or call the police whenever they see a situation particularly involving a black man. Because when they make that phone call, when they call someone, they make the call that leads to someone's death. You call the cops on a black person, and rather than get the result which you thought you're getting, maybe they're going to check this person out or arrest them, instead you end up leading to death of that person. You understand? And it is getting to moments where people can no longer make phone calls unless you are racist and you hate black people that much. But you reach a moment where you're like, you know what, I think let's just keep quiet and ignore. And this is my message to you. Please stand for the truth. It's not just saying that we are good. saying you are good when you're standing for people who are murdering, for cops who are murdering innocent black men in America, does not make any sense. It doesn't make any difference. If you really say you are who you are, please change, because we need that. We are tired of the same song, same thing every year, same thing every 3 months, same protests. We need that change. From it starts with you. We need you to be part of this. It's you are either for what's right, or you are either for what's wrong. You defend what's wrong, then you are part of what's wrong. I pray that God sorts everything out and helps us. I pray that the family of Brooks gets justice, and all those reforms in America work out, because we really need them. And yeah, I love you guys so much. May God bless you.